What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is July the 12th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and where big money is gravitating towards today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, PPI just came out a little bit higher than anticipated, both on a month-over-month and year-over-year basis. So it does kind of signal some level of inflation, so not necessarily the best. But honestly, I think the market, given what Powell recently said and CPI data from yesterday, the market could not give two craps. So that's definitely a very positive thing. Futures are very green. You'll also see the fear and greed index at 53. So people's appetite for risk is there and very resemblant based on what I'm going to be talking on. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Sofi. I don't know. It's very, very exciting to see it back very close to the sevens. So no actual news, no SEC filings, nothing like that. What I feel is really carrying SoFi is Anthony's recent interview, and plus it just being heavily shorted. There's one big correlation between many of the stocks I'm going to be talking on is it's very heavily shorted. So something to kind of consider. So around 18% short interest, as I brought up in the past, 17.6. And right now it is above this pivot point of $6.75. And I did say that's something that you need to watch for. So most likely it is going to trade between this pivot point and that $7 range. I don't know if it's going to have enough to break above 7 today, but very exciting stuff. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. ZAPP is showing some signs of life once again. So it is up 20.43%. Regrettably, there's been nothing to talk on, no news. It's just a very crazy momentum play that, in my opinion, is just being puppeted, if I'm saying that right, behind the scenes by bigger entities. It's still very heavily shorted, so 39.48% of the free float's being shorted, still on the threshold list. 564.38 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So this does meet the criteria of exactly what a squeeze and what 2024 likes to squeeze. Cost to borrow average is 1,000%. Crazy stuff. So that obviously is really deterring a lot of shorts from getting in. Right now, though, with it at 11 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 1053 is going to be the strong support, and then 1215 is going to be that next strong resistance. Moving on, Lucid. First time I've ever brought up Lucid in my pre-market, and I do cover this one under my other channel. So it is up 3.24% based on no news, no SEC filings. Like I said, it is just heavily shorted. So 27.86% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 246.74 million shares. Already pre-market, they are increasing 647,000 shares because they do not feel Lucid is obviously justified to be at this price pre-market, despite no news, like I said. And plus, when it comes to Lucid, you're going to also have some manipulation to try and bring it below 350 because that is a very strong kind of resistance point based on options. So right now with it at 351, I actually have to look at the 1 week. So these are some of the strong support and resistance points. So 313 is going to be that key one to watch for it to hold, but I don't anticipate that to be touched, and it is above all the key fib levels. So it's kind of overbought for the most part, but again, when it's kind of correcting, it's kind of normal for this to happen. So just watch for this 313 to hold. If I do look at the 1 day, you can kind of see the other one as well for a strong support is going to be around $3.20, but I don't anticipate that to be touched today. If anything, it's just going to be more FOMO kicking in. And one time in Lucid's history, they have had a squeeze. So it looks like the market does want to kind of push a lot of stocks, again, that are heavily shorted higher. Moving on, IMMP, if I'm saying that right, IMMP, it is a biotech, as you can kind of see based on the description right here, based out of Sydney, Australia, and it is because of this news right here, and so that's what's causing it to go up 17.41%. It's not heavily shorted, 0.01% of the free float being shorted, so I already looked that up. no point in really talking about that. But 6 with it at $2.34. It is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 218 is a strong support. 264 is a strong resistance for you to watch for. In my opinion, I think based on, well, obviously, like I've explained, biotechs aren't my forte. I feel that maybe this pivot might be touched, kind of get gravitated and pushed down to that. But again, I don't really know the context of that news and how significant it is. So just kind of take note of some of the strong support and resistance points. And then Tesla is continuing to push down because they did delay their event, rumored, and that did come from Bloomberg, but Elon hasn't come out, as far as I'm aware, to either say yay or nay. So I think that's just spooking the market a little bit. So that's what caused it to go down 8.44% yesterday, and then 2.38% today. And right now with it at 236 and change, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 234, just watch for that to hold. Then I don't anticipate this R1 to be touched at all, so the 254. So yeah, it's a very interesting scenario with all these stocks. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.